When the MiGs first engaged in head-to-head combat against the American Sabres, they finally met their match. A new era in aerial combat was about to begin, the jet versus jet dogfight.
We were patrolling on this patrol line when we spotted these 4 airplanes coming toward us at a very impressive high rate of speed. My first impression then of the MiG was that I was up against something that was really a dynamo. So I started maneuvering into position to keep hitting him to see if I couldn't get the airplane to blow. And I used almost my entire load of ammunition on him before he finally looked like he was out of control and went on into the ground.
The MiG pilots realized they no longer had supremacy of the skies. Early dogfights meant that new tactics had to be learned fast.
This aerial combat was basically chaotic both vertically and horizontally. But from the battle we learned we should never fight Sabres horizontally.
The MiG had a better than a 2,500 foot per minute rate of climb advantage. Could turn tighter, could out-accelerate, could out-decelerate, and were roughly the same speed. We talk about the 86 being faster and the MiG being faster. It depends on what altitude you're at. Now, we're not talking about a large or an excessive difference. We're talking maybe 3, 4, 5 miles an hour.
The Sabre was a good plane, but its engine seemed to be weaker, because my MiG could climb up and escape from him, but he could not escape from me. I would always catch up with him. Our MiG was very well armed, much better than the Sabre. We had 3 machine guns, and the caliber of the guns was such that one hit could destroy a Sabre.
We just had 50 caliber. We could hit the MiG a number of times, and the MiG wouldn't necessarily go down. But if the MiG hit an F-86 a few times with those cannons, the F-86 was not going to make it home.
We fought against them like sportsmen. Whoever handled their plane best won. If you are weak, bad luck.
The main role of the MiG-15 was to intercept American bombers, which were raiding North Korea with their Sabre escorts. The principal MiG tactic was to take advantage of its superior altitude and lie in wait at heights of up to 50,000 feet, and then ambush the American air armadas below. In October 1951, Lev Ivanov led a Soviet MiG attack on 48 B-29 bombers.
They came flying in from the sea without cover at an angle of 30 degrees towards the bridge, which was the best approach to bomb it. The Sabres came in to protect the bombers, but they were 4 minutes late, so naturally we took advantage of that. As soon as I saw a Sabre, I got onto its tail, aimed, fired, and that was that.
So many bombers were lost that this day became known as Black Tuesday. The MiGs had outmaneuvered, outflown, and outgunned their opponents. With precious few Sabres available to stand up to the MiGs, it looked as though the challenge of the Sabre was overrated. The war for supremacy in the air began to produce aces on both sides. Colonel Yevgeny Pepelayev had the highest number of kills per mission, shooting down an enemy aircraft once in every 5 missions.
Out of 20 planes, I shot down 16 Sabres, 2 F-94s, 1 F-98, and 1 F-84. To shoot down an enemy plane, we tried to approach him from behind and as close as we could to his tail. The closer you are, the more likely the hit.
I had the gun sight almost on him, but it wasn't there, and I didn't fire. You don't shoot until the picture's right. He did not get away. I knocked his engine out. He was almost being consumed by engine fire.
During these dramatic dogfights in the air, MiG pilots discovered the remarkable abilities of their aircraft to take enormous punishment.
I was flying towards the ground, following my leader, as it was my responsibility to guard his tail. The American plane was waiting there for me to come out of the dive. It was then that he shot me.
И тут он меня подстрелит.
Eventually, the Russians claimed the MiG combat record gave them a 4-to-1 advantage. The US claimed a 10-to-1 ratio in favor of the F-86 Sabre against the MiG-15.